So imagine in your 40s, your nervous system goes through a process of integration and reassessing, and hopefully it has a map or a plan in order to deploy efficiently the remaining energy to be able to accomplish its life purpose. So imagine you haven't been able to succeed at that, and now you're at the end of your life where your nervous system, so I haven't gone through it, but I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and it's only natural that it would do that, where it now reassesses the entire journey. And in your heart, this is the key, you have nothing to show for it. I'm not saying you don't have money or a car or you've had a quote-unquote wife or children. This is all surface stuff. It's like inside, right? So I say this often. I say, listen, life is hard, and you give everything you got. Everybody, even the person you think does nothing, gives everything they got. This is how they do it. So the expression is, life is a bitch and then you die. So I don't want to be pessimistic, but I'm trying to say life is hard. It takes everything from you, and at the end you ain't got nothing. So if you've given everything and at the end you have nothing, and obviously what I'm talking about is not material, because you're gonna die, and that's not the material. It wasn't the point. You're looking for something internally, a form of satisfaction, a form of appeasement, a form of power that has nothing to do with material, because you're gonna die. So the car is staying here, the house is staying here, if you got a property is staying here, everything's staying here. So it's never been about that really. Everybody knows that somehow. They get confused. So imagine you get at the end of your life and you didn't, after going through such hardship and toil and giving everything you have and burning yourself and exhausting yourself to the point of unfathomable diseases, and you ain't got nothing to show for it inside. Well, that's got to be a hard death. So that's why, once again, we say thank God for modern medicine and its drugs. So now you're going to be numb as fuck, and your nervous system and your brain is going to be numb as fuck, so you can't really contemplate upon your life, because if you would, the level of agony that you would go through, I'm not sure you would like to go through that. So you can say thank God, thank you medical system, thank you pharmaceutical companies for making sure that I'm numb at the highest degree, so I don't have to feel the side effects of my life, my lifestyle, my choices, and my mind. So now I've become a little like nasty again, just temporary, I think. But the point is, it's like, well, imagine you get at that point and internally you have nothing to show for. And I'm like, you can't fake it. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody, look, we live in an Instagram, social media era. Everybody fakes everything. Everybody fakes happy. Right? I don't care. I have no problem with that. You do what you got to do. It's not the point. The point is everybody fakes happy. So when you believe your own fake happy, you got a fucking problem, because when you're going to be on your deathbed, or when you get to your 40s, which is that transition phase, well, you can't fake it. Your fake happiness. Yeah, I went to Disneyland. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about Disneyland, man. Yeah, but it was amazing. I was with my children. It was awesome. We had such a great moment. I'm like, did you really? Did that satisfy the man? I don't want to answer for you, because I've been at Disneyland. I know exactly what it is. It's nothing but stimulation and friction. So it's great. It's like taking cocaine. It's fun. But does it satisfy the man? So this is between you and yourself. That's the whole thing. This is between you and yourself, and you evaluate yourself in your 40s. And you now put this, and by the law of correspondence, put it at the end of your life. I'm like, so imagine how painful it will be then if you haven't corrected your course. Even though it's not too late in your 40s, for sure it's not too late. That I can assure you that. In fact, we can say it's never too late. But if you at the end of your life haven't found something of value, then what the hell was the point of all that pain? Because that's why I'm insisting. Life is hard. Let's cut the crap. I know it's not so politically correct, and it's not cool for social media to say life is. Listen, look, spend 10 minutes with a person. They're gonna talk about their pain. So what does it say? People suffer. Life is hard. Jesus told you this is the valley of death, where evil rules with suffering. If this is too epic for you, it means life is hard. That's what it says. Everybody can agree with this. Ask your grandmother. Life is hard. So if at the end of your life, after doing all of this, you ain't got nothing to show for yourself. So I guess the expression is not really appropriate, nothing to show for, because it's about show. But that's why I say to yourself, if you have nothing, you haven't gained something of value that can come with you, that's yours, that you can take wherever the hell you go, then I don't know, that must be a very hard place to be. I wouldn't want to be in that position, and I've set it up for myself that I will never be in such a place. So me, the reality of death has been real for me since I'm a child. And I guess in my 20s, I was doing what a 20-year-old does with the consciousness of death. In my 30s, I did this. So death is always there, and it's always been, I'm like, I don't want to die like, I'm sorry, I say these people, your average person, which is what I saw. I don't want to live to die like this. If that's what life is, fuck life, because that's shit life if you die like that. And then you hear these stupid stories, and I saw this is his grandfather, and he was surrounded by the people you love. Yeah, I was there in the room when my grandfather died, surrounded by the people he loved. So, and we loved him. But anyways, I wouldn't want to die like that. That's all I know. I'm like, he had a peaceful life and a peaceful death compared to everybody else or most people. And I'm like, I don't want to die like that. That sucks. Anyways, I don't want to make this about that. I apologize. What I'm trying to say is that, let's say that when you arrive in your middle life, in your 40s, you look back and you say, well, what have I accomplished that has actual value? And can I grow this into a tree of value? And external things, although I can enjoy them and people can give me praise on the outside, do they satisfy me? And when I'm in those phases of my life, because when you're in your 20s or in your 30s, you're in the movement. You don't have, well, unless you have wisdom, you don't have time to contemplate. When you get to your 40s, your nervous system obliges you to go through that process. It's like the computer has to clear the RAM space and the cache and all this shit, right? To give you a little bit of space for the new. So you can't lie to yourself anymore. That little trip, did it really satisfy you? That cheap sex with your girlfriend or your wife, or I'm sorry, I don't want to get nasty as I sometimes get. I'm just trying to say, it's like, you can't lie to yourself when you're in those moments. And the things that I used to, it's like, yay, I'm like, it's not doing it. I got a PlayStation 18, I'm like, it's not doing it. I got a new car, I'm like, does it really do it? I'm like, it's not, I'm looking for something else, and I don't know what it is. Shit. And I'm scared. So when we put all of the things that we've discussed since the beginning of Orange Shirt with Stripe session, for sure the fucking person is going to be feeling really sad and brokenhearted and what we call depressed. He's in a contemplative mode. But sometimes when you haven't processed so much, and on top of that your body is sickly and full of toxins, the contemplation mode becomes so intense that it crushes you because you have so much burden on you and so many toxins. And when your body's trying to like integrate and kind of like unload a little bit, it's too much, it's too intense, it's too toxic, and it just like... And this happens to women in their 40s also, but we're talking to men. We're talking about men, and particularly men. Anyways, let's move on.